What if I told you that this amazing woman is already 80 years old? Her name is Rosely Ferraiol. Looking at her, it's hard to believe that she's in her late 20s. She regularly trains at the gym, remains active, energetic, maintains excellent physical fitness, and inspires thousands of people with her example. But the most amazing thing is not how young she looks. The real question is, what exactly allows her to live at the age of 80 in a way that many people don't even live at 50? Today we will analyze in detail the habits and principles that help Rosely maintain health, strength, and vitality. And most importantly, you will learn which of these secrets can be applied today to increase your chances of living a long, active, and fulfilling life. Therefore, watch this video to the end. It will be interesting and useful. So let's get started. First, Rosely does not perceive training as a temporary project. For most people, sports is something that needs to start on Monday, endure for a month, and then quit again. Centenarians with a high quality of life have a completely different approach. Physical activity becomes as natural a part of the day as brushing your teeth. This is what allows you to get the effect not week but in decades. Our body adapts surprisingly well to stress at any age. Research shows that even people who start exercising after the age of 70 are able to significantly increase muscle strength, improve balance, and reduce the risk of falls. Therefore, the main question is not how old am I, but what can I do regularly? It is especially important to understand one thing. After the age of 30, a person gradually begins to lose muscle mass. This process is called age-related muscle loss. If you do nothing, every decade it becomes more difficult to climb stairs, carry bags, maintain posture, and maintain a normal metabolism. That's why strength training becomes a real investment in the future. Rosely regularly works out at the gym, not because she wants to set a sports record, but because strong muscles literally help a person stay young. They improve insulin sensitivity, support joint health, help maintain bone density, and even have a positive effect on brain function. Another important secret of Rosely is that she doesn't lose motivation over the years. But there is an interesting nuance here. Most people are looking for motivation even though they really need a system. Motivation is always changing. Today it is, tomorrow it is not. And habits continue to work regardless of your mood. So instead of asking, how do I force myself? It is much more useful to ask, how to make a useful action the easiest option. For example, you can prepare sports clothes in advance in the evening, sign up for a gym at a certain time, or arrange to work out with a friend. The fewer decisions you have to make on a daily basis, the easier it is to maintain healthy habits over the years. Rosely shows another very important thing. She doesn't see age as a limitation. Many people begin to age psychologically much earlier than physically. They constantly repeat to themselves, "It's too late for me. This is not for my age." Now all that remains is to take care of yourself. But the brain listens attentively to these attitudes. If a person constantly convinces himself of his own weakness, he gradually begins to behave that way. It is much more useful to replace such thoughts with another question. What can I improve today? This approach changes the attitude towards life and helps to preserve inner energy. Positive thinking deserves special attention. Sometimes it is mistakenly perceived as an attempt to ignore problems. In fact, it's about something else entirely. A positive person does not pretend that difficulties do not exist. He just switches his attention from the problem to the search for a solution faster. This is directly related to physiology. Chronic stress maintains high levels of stress hormones, which over time worsen sleep, accelerate inflammatory processes and negatively affect the immune system. Therefore, the ability to remain calm is not only a psychological skill, but also a contribution to the health of the body. That is why emotional stability is becoming one of the most underestimated factors of longevity. There are troubles, losses, disappointments, and unexpected difficulties in every person's life. The difference is not in the number of problems, but in the reaction to them. People who are able to recover faster from stressful situations tend to save more energy, maintain healthy habits more easily, and are less likely to give up self-care. Emotional stability can be developed gradually. Walking, physical activity, keeping a diary, mindful breathing, limiting the flow of negative news, and communicating with people who inspire rather than exhaust help. Another important principle is quality sleep. Many underestimate its effect on the appearance and rate of aging. It is during sleep that the body repairs tissues, regulates the immune system, produces important hormones, and literally performs maintenance on the entire body. Even the most ideal workout will not be able to compensate for chronic lack of sleep. If a person regularly sleeps for 5 to 6 hours, over time this affects the condition of the skin, energy levels, heart function, and the ability to concentrate. It is also interesting that Rosely runs its own blog where it shares the results. At first glance, it seems that this is just a hobby, but in fact, such openness creates additional responsibility towards oneself. When a person talks about their habits, records progress, and receives the support of like-minded people, the likelihood of maintaining discipline increases significantly. In addition, the feeling of one's own usefulness has a positive effect on one's psychological state. Research shows that having meaning and being able to benefit others are closely linked to a higher quality of life in old age. None of these principles are sensational in themselves, but it is their combination repeated day after day that can change the quality of life more than the search for another miracle cure. Friends, what do you think of this woman? Write your opinion in the comments. If this video was useful to you, then please like it and share the link with those who might find it particularly useful. We also recommend watching this video that's currently appearing on your screen.